Hey everyone, so this video is to basically make the point why I'm currently in this 2017 F450 King Ranch and not my F350 dually. So when I upgraded from my 2016 F450 to the 2017 F350 dually, I made a video pointing out why I did and why I didn't go with the 450 at the time. Mainly because of the fact that there weren't a lot of differences between the 450 and the 350 when it comes to their capacities, their payload, their towing, everything, right? The one area that I did not realize that I would absolutely come to dread about the 350 was the turning radius. I know a lot of folks drive those trucks without any problems, any issues at all, but if you have come from a 450 that has the wide track front axle and you're going to a 350, you are really sacrificing a lot in terms of turning radius. And I'd go to the dealership and I'd talk to Eric and I'd talk to the folks over there, and I would tell them every time they'd ask me, so do you love your new truck? I'd say, you know what? I love the truck, but I hate the turning radius. It really drives me crazy. So I get a phone call last week from Eric saying, hey man, I know that you really are dissatisfied with the turning radius. If I can put you in a 450, would you be happier? Would that make you feel a little bit better about your purchase? And I told him, I said, you know, I'd think about it. I said, I love the fact that I have my tire pressure monitoring on the 350, but you know, for me, I always check my tire pressure. I'm always very observant of that. I guess in the case of rapid air loss, a tire going flat, you know, having TPMS can be a lifesaver. But in my case, especially with all the trucks I've had in the past, I haven't really had that issue. So I started thinking about it more and more, and I kind of came to the conclusion that, man, if I could get that steering radius back, that turning circle, it would be totally worth it. So I called Eric back and I said, man, if you can work me out a deal to get me out of this 350 and into a 450 so I'm not losing my butt on money and I'm not basically going to find myself in a position of regretting it financially, then let's consider it. So the problem then became, where do we find a 450? They had a couple 450s at their dealership location, but those 450s did not have certain features that I was looking for, or they were already special ordered vehicles. So somebody had already ordered them and were essentially just waiting on them to come in. Now, they have other dealerships all over the country, including one in Houston. As most of you in the Houston area or in the world know, Houston has turned into pretty much a lake, and the dealership up there apparently lost all of their 450s to the floodwaters. So I guess when you get 6 foot of water inside the cab of a truck, you no longer can sell it. So they had 3 of them up there. One was a special order, 2 of them could have been sold, but they got flooded out. So the other question was, where do we find them? When you do a search, you're going to find that you can buy 450s, and they're not as hard to locate on the internet as you might think. However, once you call those dealerships and find out if they're willing to sell them or if they're special order vehicles, you find oftentimes you can't get into them for one reason or another. Either they're trying to mark them up above MSRP, or they're a special order vehicle for a customer and they just won't sell it to you. So that, again, made it difficult to locate a 450. Well, anyways, Eric told me he had located 3 of them that they would be willing to get for me if I wanted one. One of them was a platinum white tri-coat, just like my 2016 model. It was a platinum, all white in the platinum white metallic paint. The second one was a white gold platinum. Whole thing was white gold, and I like white gold in the two-tone with the Caribou, but I don't like white gold by itself. So I really didn't want that truck. And then the third one was a ruby red F450 King Ranch Ultimate Edition. Exactly what I would want. Guys, if I haven't told you this in the past, the ruby red color on the Super Duty is my absolute favorite color. The problem is it's very hard to find a truck in ruby red. And sometimes if you do, you get it in a two-tone, which for ruby red, I'd want the whole truck to be ruby red. and I really wouldn't want the two-tone. So he was able to find me this 2017 F450 King Ranch Ultimate Edition. It actually has a few more features than my King Ranch F350 that I had. It carries a sticker that's about $7,000 higher than my F350 dually, but he was able to locate it. I did lose a little bit of equity that I had built between my last trucks, but it wasn't much. And I was able to get into this truck for pretty much only the difference in the cost of the truck package. So for instance, it being an F450 with several more features than my F350, that accounted for about $7,000 in difference. So that's really the only difference I have in the loan price on this truck versus the truck that I had. And a lot of people probably think, man, you must put yourself in debt getting into these. Not true. I put a lot of money down when I buy a truck on top of the equity that goes into it. So even though you see a price of these trucks being very high, I only get a loan for about a fraction of what that is. Anyways, guys, I wanted to take a moment to explain that to you all, because I know a lot of folks out there are going to say, man, what is this guy doing? How is he able to afford these trucks? Why would he just go from an F350 to an F450? And I want to take a moment to kind of let you guys know that. So here is the new truck, guys. 2017 Ford F450 King Ranch Ultimate Edition. Beautiful 19.5-inch Alcoa wheels, 225/70R 19.5-inch Continental HSR tires. Also, wide track front axle. Sticks out 3 inches further. Gives you a much sharper turning radius on this truck than you'd get on a 350 single rear wheel or dually truck. Dana Super 60 wide track front axle. Extends out 3 inches further on each side for a total of 6 inches extra width. And it's right in that area, right there, that you get that extra width. Permits a much sharper turning radius than a truck without this axle. 7,000 pound front axle rating. I absolutely love the way the wheels and tires accent this truck. The larger 19.5-inch Alcoa wheels really make this stand out. The ruby red paint on this truck is just beautiful. Absolutely love that monotone ruby red look to it. You know, one thing I do want to point out about this truck is that I have these new seamless AVS wind deflectors on the top here. Absolutely love the way these things look. They look so much cleaner than your traditional wind deflector, whether it's the kind that goes inside the groove or it's the kind that tapes on the outside. These adhere to the outside using 3M double-sided tape, and I honestly feel that is the best looking wind deflector you can get on a truck. They look really nice, especially when you get back pretty far and you just see how clean they look. It's just one solid little line that runs across the top, and I'm really impressed by those. Again, those are the AVS seamless wind deflectors. Here's the rear frame section. 4 main leaf springs, 1 overload leaf. Exactly the same suspension you get on the 350. So though the payload capacity of this particular truck is rated at slightly less than a 350, it's really identical because it has the exact same leaf spring setup as a 350 dually. Here's the rear axle assembly. Dana M300 series rear axle. It has larger half shafts inside of the axle housing than a 350, so it is slightly larger. The sway bar is also larger than a 350. Though the housing for the back axle, the M300 series, is the same on the 350 dually as it is on this 450 dually. Here's another look at the front of the truck just so you can kind of see the width and the stance difference on the 450 versus a 350, right? These flares that you see on the side of the 450 are add-ons versus the 350, which doesn't have them, mainly because, again, look how far out the wheels stand on this truck versus a standard 350 dually. The interior of the truck is identical to the 350 King Ranch that I had. Same King Ranch brown leather interior. Exactly the same. The only addition is because this truck has the lane keeping feature. It has this button right here, whereas the truck that I had, the 350, this button extended the entire length up here to swap your camera views and different things like that. As you can see, I already have my WeatherGuard toolbox and my Axis bed cover installed on this truck. This truck also came equipped with the chrome package, which gives me the King Ranch tailgate. I know a lot of people noticed my last video of my 350, I had a King Ranch tailgate on it, and that was because a place that does a lot of customizations to trucks had a tailgate that they had removed from a truck because they put a custom tailgate on, and they were able to sell it to me, actually swap it with some cash on top. So I was very lucky to get that, but on the other hand, I wish I had just kept the standard tailgate on it simply because I traded the truck in for this truck. And hey guys, if you want to know what the chrome package gets you, it gets the chrome front bumper, the chrome skull caps on top of your mirrors right there, chrome door handles, chrome rear bumper, and the big King Ranch label across the back of your tailgate. If you don't get the chrome package, it's a paint matched rear bumper. The back of the tailgate here is just red. It doesn't have this here at all. And your front bumper is also paint matched, as well as the top of your mirrors and your door handles. So that's it, guys. That's my new truck. I hope you enjoy it. A lot of videos coming. Anyways, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, everyone.